when we say share the light, we are guides. We are the guide for those kids, not just so that we can be seen, but so that we can illuminate the path towards greatness, illuminate the path towards success, illuminate the path towards their futures. So if a kid's flame goes out, they make a mistake, they do something that we don't agree with, it's our job as the coach to go ahead and stick with that kid and help reignite that flame in them. As we build our legacy as coaches and the things that we want to instill in the kids, when we're gone, my flame is gone. But the light that I shared still lives. The light that I shared still exists. My light was flickering. 4 months ago, I had a tragedy occur, and I didn't feel like I had the strength to be here with you guys. But when I reevaluated my why and my purpose and what I was put here on this earth to do, and the legacy that I have to continue to live, not just for myself, but for someone else that lit a fire in me, someone else that made me see brightness in my future, someone that made me feel happy every single day that they were a part of my life. See, our kids can ignite our flame as well. 4 months ago, I lost my 17-year-old son to sudden cardiac arrest. And it is only because of him and the light that I remember of his life that I'm able to be here with you today. And even though his flame appears to not be here in the physical form, his light is still here. He still lives. So I'm going to do this for Damani. Every day that we get up, think about the impact that we have the opportunity of making with kids. Because as coaches, we impact more people than the average person does in their entire life. We do that in 1 year. 1 year. How many kids do you coach? How many people do they come in contact with? Because you're not just impacting the kids that you coach, you're impacting the kids that they impact and the legacy that they spread based on what they learned from you. Every day we have 1,440 minutes that we can impact somebody's life. Are we using those minutes wisely? If you knew that somebody's life depended on what you do in that minute, would you change anything about what you're doing? Did I spend those minutes wisely? What are the kids learning through the legacy that I'm leaving with them? And the purpose of life is to give it away, to give it to somebody else, to spread your light, to share your light, to impact somebody else, and to make them feel special. Not just this world we live in with social media and, oh, I got this many retweets, I got this many likes. How many times you go to dinner with the kids, you're on your team, and they're sitting at the same table and they're all on their phones, and no one is interacting and taking time. Those 1,440 minutes that we have are being wasted on social media. How are we spending our time? What are we teaching these kids? Are we going to tell them, put their phones away and let's interact and let's develop relationships with one another? Let's develop things that when you're gone, your impact, it doesn't matter if you live 17 years or if you live 70 years. What did you do with the years? What did you do with the time that you had on this earth? Because a 17-year-old can do it just as much with their time that a 70-year-old can. But it depends on who ignited that flame for them, who made sure that they knew that they had a light to share. Just because I'm a teenager doesn't mean I can't share my light. I've had kids that have impacted me, that I've coached, that reignited my flame, that let me know, okay, I'm doing this right or I'm not. Or I look at the struggle that they're going through. I have a young lady who didn't have food. She would not practice well sometimes, and I would have to have conversations with her, and she was not eating at home. How many of you guys have that? Kids that only eat when they're at school. Only eat when they're at school. Okay. And then we're wondering why they're not performing well, or if their bus is late in the morning. Their bus is late in the morning and they miss breakfast. Now they go to class and they are cranky because now not only did they not have breakfast, but they didn't have dinner the night before. And so the teacher is frustrated because they keep putting their head down and they won't cooperate. So the teacher sends you an email and is complaining about these kids, but guess what? You have that relationship with the kid that the teacher does not, and you have insight about that kid that the teacher does not. So this is the question: what are we going to do about it? I had one young lady who was in that situation, and I would buy her groceries sometimes. So that this kid that's trying to fight to get a scholarship, to give herself another chance at life, to not have to live the way that her family has lived for generations, to give herself a chance out of poverty, we have to go above and beyond. We have to go over the edge and do things that are not necessarily in our job description, helping these kids find the light that's in them. God put a light in all of us, or whoever, whatever you want to say. We were created with a light that exists in us. Each person has a purpose. Each person has a gift, something that they are uniquely gifted and talented to do. Some of them may not be the best athlete, but guess what? If they find that passion within themselves and that gift within themselves, we can help them do that by self-discovery. What is it that I can do to help this kid find out what's special about them, what's unique about them? What is it that they were put on this earth to do, and what is it that they can do to change the environment around them, the community around them, the reality around them? Because one at a time, when we're changing kids' lives, we're changing the world. What's being instilled in them, what values, what principles? That's a part of what we do as coaches. How many times do we try to change somebody's life, not just the score? How many times do we give one of those kids who is not the best an opportunity to play, an opportunity to run, an opportunity to be a part of something special? Some of these kids, this is the only time, some kids are not gonna run or play in college. Some kids are not gonna, do this ever again in life, but the opportunities that we give them here are setting them up for success. Sharing that light with her, share that light and help her to share her light, to discover that light that is within herself. So every kid deserves to be the favorite, like Coach Harper taught me, right? And I've been thinking lately about the Make-A-Wish Foundation. How many of you guys have looked at some of the things, great things that kids, you see the game and they let the kid with Down syndrome make the game-winning shot, or, kids get to go and meet the favorite celebrity or go on their favorite vacation. But life doesn't always give us warning. Everybody doesn't know years in advance, or a year in advance, months in advance, when it's the end. Why don't we approach every day as if it's the last day, right? Why don't we approach every day as if this is our last chance to help that kid make a wish, to help that kid find success? So if you are in a football game and the score is 40-6, and you have a kid on the sidelines with a clean uniform who hasn't been in, but practices and busts their butt every day at practice, right, is there every game, you're not going to give that kid a chance? What is it going to hurt you to give that kid a chance? To let them make a wish, to let them have that opportunity to shine. But this is the thing, when we chase success, a lot of times we miss it. When we chase changing lives, 90% of the time we're going to get success, digging deep down inside of them, helping them find a purpose that pushes them harder than anything else. Like chasing a gold medal, okay, I'm willing to work a little bit for that. But when you tell me that I'm never going to have to live in poverty again, or have to worry about my lights being cut off again, or have to worry about being hungry at night, you tell me that by pushing myself, I'm going to change that? I'm not going to have to worry about living check to check? I'm going to get a college degree? That kid's going to work way harder than the kid that you're telling to work hard for a gold medal or for a championship trophy. Changing your future is much more important than changing a scoreboard. I'm telling you. Opportunity to go and experience new things, to get on a plane. So many kids don't even leave their city. So many kids have not even been to a restaurant that they have to know which fork to use. Little things like that. What can I get out of this relationship? What can this kid do for me, right? What can you do for me? We should seek to serve through our relationships, not to be served. Not looking for what can we get out of the kids, but what can we do for the kids? What can we do for the kids, like my coach did for me? In high school, my freshman year, I was fighting. Middle school, I was fighting. I was that kid that was always in trouble, right? And so my coach told me to come and get on the team, join the track team. He didn't know what he had to gain from that. He didn't know whether I was going to be good or not. He had nothing to base it on. He was just giving me a chance. And that chance paid off. I ended up getting the state record by my senior year, but he gave me a chance. He was seeking to serve through the relationship, not seeking to see what he could get. It's my freshman year, I didn't win state. He developed me over time, and that's what we have to develop athletes, not just want that superstar athlete to come and be with us and so they can make us look good, so they can make our light shine. No, we're not here to shine our light. We're here to share our light. So what do we need to do so that we can instill that in other kids? So that that kid that everybody else has given up on, we're giving them a chance to find something great in themselves, that light that was already put there. We spend a lot of time practicing. Grind it out. No days off. No days off. 365. 24 hours. You know, those sayings, those slogans out there, but when we look at some college programs, they're not doing all of that. They're not doing all of that. They have days off. You got to have days off. You got to have shakeout. You have to have recovery days. Your body doesn't work that way. So we get so caught up in the grind of it that we forget the science of what makes us great. So on some days that we give like a recovery day, so we might have a medicine ball workout in the middle of the week after a hard workout. So that is our workout. It takes about an hour. So we have time to do some team building and some relationship building and still get out of practice on time. They're not going to tell you what's going on if they don't trust you. Kids need to know you care. They need to know you care. They don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Tell you that I'm not eating at home. You say, oh, I'm so sorry, and then you move on to the next thing. I'm not going to tell you anything again because you just broke that cycle. Even if you can't buy me food, you might direct me to a resource. You reaching out to you, you have to reach back. I can't just listen and turn, because then you're just like everybody else. Nobody cares. And that's what they think, that the world is dark because nobody cares about them. Like, above all else, to get the best out of these kids, show them that you care about them.